moorhen in the reeds. Right, so I'm going to show you this last little section of boats. I'll turn the camera around because there's a couple. Oh yeah. Didn't say hello back. I sometimes, I don't know whether I'm being entitled, but I actually waved them as well, and I got nothing back. And I'm going slowly as well. I'm going slowly and respectfully, and I never got nothing back. Anyway, it takes all sorts. I pity him. Now, when I was younger, I used to sort of get annoyed if I went out of my way to say hi or something to make sure and got nothing back. It kind of used to annoy me. But yeah, one of the things you learn as you get older, I was going to say you learn patience, I'm not sure that's true either. I'm not sure people who are older are very patient. In some respects, they get very impatient. It's like if you hold them up in a car or in the supermarket or indeed in a boat, as I've found out, it's like they're in such a hurry, you know. Come on Mabel, put the foot down, give it more revs, hurry up. We want to get to Nantwich before we both die of old age. I sound a bit bitter there, don't I? That's a bit OTT, but yeah. I mean, that's a bad example, but people do get impatient as they get older. You would think you would get more patient. I'm just not sure it's true. So all you youngsters watching this, don't turn into that kind of old person, constantly outraged by everything, you know. Just chill out. Like, we're nearly at the end of the line of boats. Some of these do look a little bit tired, I've got to say. Some of them do look a bit worse for wear. A couple of little river cruisers here. That's quite a nice one, that one. It's got a decent interior space for a cruiser. And this one looks like it's down at the front end. So hopefully not. Hopefully I'm wrong. That could be on its way towards sinking if he's not careful. Yeah. And there's a stove on it. Is it possible someone lives on that? Check that out. I don't even think it's 20 foot long. But people do, you know. I mean, but then people would look at this 50-foot narrowboat. Plenty of people would look and think, I would live on that. How'd you live on that? So, you know, I'm looking at 20 foot though. That's pretty hardcore life, that. Not for me. Not for me. This is about as compact as I think. Well, the thing is, right, this is about as compact as I could manage. I think I could live in a motorhome, because the big plus with that is you get to see everywhere. The thing that you can't do in a boat is go and visit mountains, but in a motorhome you could. So you get more benefit, so you're okay making a bigger sacrifice in terms of space and quality of life issues, quality of accommodation. So, you know, horses for courses. So if I ever do try long-term motorhome travel, and it's not out of the question, if I ever do, don't come back at me and say, but you said it was impossible when you were on that narrowboat. You accept the compromises that, you know, deliver a certain level of quality of life and the ability to experience things that you're looking for. And in this case, the narrowboat delivers access to about 1,500 miles of waterways that cover most of England. Not as much as I'd like, but certainly a good stretch. Most of it is really nice as an environment to travel through, and you can stay there for 14 days at a time. You can travel slowly, so it's a great way to travel and see the country, because you can do it at almost whatever pace you want, as long as it's no more than 4 miles an hour. And that sounds like some kind of joke, but you know, you're never actually going to. It works. It works. You wouldn't want to do this at 30 miles an hour. You know, it would just. I'd like to do it in a speedboat. I'd like to do one run in a speedboat past all the moored boats, just for a laugh, and watch them all come out screaming. No, I wouldn't. I'm not that kind of person. I'm literally joking. But you know what? It's getting pretty hot here. Even with a bit of a breeze, it's getting pretty. So I think what I need to do, another criteria for my mooring spot, is going to be, I think that it should be sheltered from the afternoon sun, which I think is on that side. So I'm going to look for somewhere where there's high trees on that side that will just give me some shelter from this. The sun is just outrageous. It's outrageous. Because I'm not a fan of the heat. A lot of UK people love a bit of sun and a bit of heat, and they live for this kind of day. And I like the fact that you've got 16 hours a day, whatever it is, 20 hours, seems crazy. 16, 18 hours a day, like whatever it is anyway. I do like that, because more daylight to, you know, get out and about, to visit places, to just do jobs, just to be outdoors. You know, whereas in the winter, boating can be a bit grim. I should have speeded up, shouldn't I? There we go. In the winter, boating can be a bit grim. It really can. I wouldn't sugarcoat it for any, you know, would-be boaters out there that are mad enough to take anything from this sort of video. Yeah, you've got to be realistic about doing it in the winter. You know, the fact that the day ends at 4 o'clock can be a real bummer, because, you know, well, it just is. Right, hang on. Right. Another slight camera issue there. Don't know what's going on. Slight camera issue. And so you're back on now. You've only missed about 5 seconds of this absolutely enthralling journey, so don't worry. I haven't passed any boats either. I would have expected to see a couple. Seen about 3 or 4 boats go past today, which on a normal canal, that's like nothing, because it's a very quiet canal, this, the top end of the Shropshire Union. Very, very quiet canal by normal standards. So there's a kind of a huge, another huge island of weed up ahead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to up the speed a little bit, and as I go past it, I'm going to cut the revs so the propeller doesn't catch, and hopefully it won't catch, and when I restart it, it won't be a problem, and it won't be stuck, because it's all too easy to happen. So push my reeds out the way. The boat pushes through them like it's no problem. If you tried to push them by hand, you would struggle. Oh my god, there's a little moorhen on there. Can you see him? He's having his lunch. I do hope you managed to see him or her. Just in the middle of the reed bed. Didn't even move as I pushed the reed bed to one side. Is it even a reed bed? I hope it's a reed bed. I mean, I look a big enough prat anyway without, you know, terminological errors, shall we say. So anyway, a bunch of reeds, an island of reeds. I'll just make a word up, a shrubbage of weeds. I'd rather be slagged off for a word I've made up than choosing the wrong one. It makes me appear slightly less stupid. Or does it? Perhaps not. So I'm just going to pull in to one side slightly. So I'm steering to the left because there's another island of reeds. Are they reeds? They're not even reeds, are they? Floating shrubbage. Anyway, I'm going to go through those. Propeller's still okay, still moving okay. So we've not gotten trapped or anything yet. So I'm going to push this island to one side. And as I say, just as it comes up towards the stern, I will cut the revs, go past it in neutral, just in case there's any tendrils. Now I'm steering off a bit, so I need to get the revs back on. Revs back on so the boats, you can steer again. Now I know I'm coming up close to the place I need to stop. So I'm not gonna bother putting loads of speed on, because I've got a feeling it's just around this next bend that's coming up. Up ahead it swoops round to the right, and I think we're gonna come to the bridge, the pretty bridge just there. But I must admit, I could do with some tree cover. I did this last year. I was on the Llangollen Canal and I was in a wide open space during one of those heat waves, and I think it was while I was still working. It was like July, so I was still doing some finishing off my work before final retirement. So I was sat in the boat for 8 hours and it got up to 33, 34 degrees, 2 fans on me all day long, and it was still really unpleasant. It was just, and I gave up after 2 days of this, and only had to move about 2 miles and I was under tree cover. It wasn't that much cooler, but it was a bit, to be honest. It was a bit, because what happens when it's like this, it's the air itself that gets hot. So even inside the boat you think that's hot, you come outside, the air's still hot. But in this case, the way it is today with this breeze, it's not too bad outside. I'll probably look all sort of rugged and suntanned after half an hour of this. Do you know, I met 2 blokes today, just today alone, when I was getting on and off the boat, who stopped me and asked me if I lived aboard and what it was like, and had a big sort of half-hour conversation. And both of them said it's what they were trying to do. Both single guys. It's an ambition of theirs. And I was telling them about what the price options were, and you could look at a river cruiser if your budget was smaller, and just different things. And yeah, like, just interesting little conversation. Well, interesting for me. They might have been bored out of their mind, to be fair.